The Metal and Engineering Industries Bargaining Council says the sector is facing major challenges such as energy constraints, Transnet and input costs. The council has admitted that the 2024 wage negotiations will not be easy as the economy is under siege. The sector has seen an increase in layoffs, retrenchments and firms being placed under business rescue. The sector is currently holding its pre-bargaining conference in Kempton Park in Ekurhuleni to rebuild trust among all stakeholders as they prepare for tough wage negotiations. SABC News economics reporter Naledi Matlapeng has more for us.
We're coming to you from the Metal and Engineering Industries Bargaining Council, where issues affecting the engineering and steel sector are being discussed and whether the wage negotiations should kickstart this year. Joining us to take this matter further is the CEO of SABC, Mr. Lucio Trinity. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers, and thank you for the opportunity.
Some of the speakers here were saying that the wage negotiation, the wage agreement that is currently on paper should actually be extended, and there should only be a sweetener going forward. Do you agree with this?
So that was one of the issues raised in open plenary by the General Secretary of NUMSA. This is early stages in the process. Today is the official launch of this round of negotiations, and that, together with many other items, will form part of our closed discussion this afternoon and issues that we will take back to our respective constituencies for proper mandating. It's an important issue. Wages and terms and conditions of employment are important to both employers and employees in the industry. This is a 10,000 employer-sized industry, 270,000 blue-collar workers affected by what we do. It's a 900 billion rand in terms of in relation to revenue sector, and finding each other in the form of a pre-bargaining conference is critically important, because we cannot afford, in the current climate that this country finds itself, negotiations that unravel and lead to a strike as we experienced in 2021.
What would you say are the main fundamental issues affecting the sector?
The economy, logistics, energy, the state of local municipalities in order to deliver services to businesses in their area. So the macroeconomic challenges are huge. The microeconomic challenges in terms of the acceleration in the cost of living for our workers who wake up every morning and come to work are incredibly challenging. And so is the environment for businessmen and women who strive every day to add profit to their bottom line, to keep employees in jobs, and to turn the wheel that keeps this economy ticking over.
How would you say the problems that are happening at Transnet is actually hampering growth in the sector?
Logistics is a major challenge for this sector. The inability of employers to get their products to markets has had a devastating impact on the bottom line of many employers. We've seen tremendous job losses in this industry. Logistics, together with energy, together with the state of our roads, all compound to an extremely difficult business environment, and that's not good for the economy, and it's not good for our sector. This is a huge sector. It's a supplier and customer to all the major sectors around us: mining, construction, automotive component manufacturers, auto assemblers, and so on. So every single challenge that we are faced with as labour and business compound the situation for us and increase the pressure for us to find one another in wage and terms and conditions of employment. Just to give you an idea, the strike in 2021 cost our sector 600 million rand in lost revenue per day. That was 3 years ago. 3 years on, we cannot afford a repeat of that under any set of circumstances.
So are you hoping for a quick settlement or a continuation of the current agreement?
It's too early to talk about what the agreement will look like, but everyone is aligned around a negotiating timetable. We have set aside today and 3 negotiating meeting dates with enough time in between each date to allow each party to revert back to its respective constituencies for a revision and a review of their mandates. We have the last date settled in the middle of May. Our agreement expires at the end of June, and I'm hoping that the next time that you interview me, we can report on a successful conclusion of this round of negotiations without a strike, on terms that we all agree, and that we can move forward and focus on the macro issues bedeviling our economy and our industry. And we as Labour and business can make a meaningful contribution to some of the solutions that hopefully we will find post discussions on wages and terms and conditions of employment.
What do you think are the other major, causes of job losses in the sector, and some of the companies end up being liquidated?
The number one jobs killer and the number one jobs killer in this industry has without a doubt been roading blackouts and load shedding. The inability of municipalities and Eskom to supply uninterrupted and stable power and energy has led to many companies facing huge difficulties. We've seen huge losses in terms of headcount, in terms of employment. This industry has lost in excess of 200,000 jobs since the height in the 1990s to where we are now. Around about the 1990s, we were employing just under 500,000 employees in the sector. We're down to about 263. That's a massive loss of jobs. Not all attributable to load shedding, but load shedding has been around for 15 years, and it's about time that employers, trade unions play a part in coming up with solutions to this massive challenge facing the industry.